Okay, I think.
Can you hear us, Kathy?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah.
You figured out how to work that yet? Or you still practice?
They're talking to you.
I'm still practicing. It's a lifelong pursuit. Lifelong. Bruce, what is the format that your documents come out in? What is ODT?
Open document,
Open document
open
package
text.
Yeah. or OTD, whatever.
I forgot to convert it to,
Ah,
normally I convert it either to a PDF or to,
sometimes I'm able to convert it, but
which one are you looking at? The agenda or the
the
minutes?
agenda.
I'll Resave it and send it again.
Don Maxon will be in person, the Larkies will be in person. Peter Halligan probably will zoom in. I think Phil will probably be here in person.
Yeah, he said he was going to be.
Odie's here, so that's all home accounted for.
Is there a sign-in sheet? Should I? What else?
There's no public comments, man.
No, there's no.
If you want some.
comment, but if you want to sign in sheet, we can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Could I ask, the people that are in the audience, writing, please? We have to record the meetings.
You want the address to? You want the address to?
Yes, if you can, that would be great. Thank you very much.
All right, Bill, we're on the way. Got a PDF.
Actually, for some reason, the our reader, or whatever it is, was able to open. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Hello. How's everyone?
You can sit anywhere you want, there's just the three of us tonight.
Oh. All right.
Oh,
At the end of the meeting, I'll give you your bag back.
I heard that. Yeah.
No Daryl tonight.
No, he's at a funeral. Kathy's on Zoom and Janine, the other conflict.
Is Kathy gonna be able to?
It's getting advertised. Do we have a quorum?
I haven't reviewed anything. I haven't had the time to do anything, so I won't really, I'll just be listening. I really can't participate.
So do we have a quorum? 3 out of 5. Oh. I don't like doing business.
3 hours.
I don't like doing business with their minimum, but
Then, yeah.
What you sent out. What you sent out 15 minutes ago, is that a different agenda?
no, Bill was having trouble opening,
I was complaining to him, so.
so I sent it out as a PDF.
Hey, folks, it's Pete Halligan. I just wanted to let Kevin know I'm on. And you folks?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.
Did I know you want?
Actually, I might want to next to Kevin in case I gotta look at any of this material.
Well, I can.
I can move down and through it. I can sit. Yeah, Kevin, sit here and. What's that? I could move down.
If you want to sit here, I'll sit here.
Okay.
And then I get all this.
We're good. Thank you.
My suit. Your suit. Oh.
You don't bring a suit to what?
I don't usually bring a suit to meetings. Bring the tea.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's. After 7 o'clock. Let's get started. First thing, you wanna announce the meeting was advertised in the Wayne Times and posted on the website. We do have a quorum of 3, it's the bare minimum. But it is a quorum. First. Piece of business is to review the minutes from May 1st meeting. Well, if you haven't looked them over and make any suggestions that you feel are needed.
And you did correct the
date.
last line for this
Yes.
meeting being the 15th.
Yes,
Okay,
I did.
thank you.
Ricky, you have any?
No, I move that we accept the minutes from.
All right,
I'll second that.
okay, all those in favor? Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
unanimous. All right. First thing on our agenda is the Neil Clifford, Malarkey, and Abe's My Time. If you'd like to step up and tell us about your project.
You can pull the podium if you want, if that makes it easier to talk behind or anything.
Doesn't matter either way. Hi, guys, I'm Neil Clifford. Actually, we're proposing on opening a restaurant existing within Abe's current facility. So, the plan agreement that we have made with Abe is we basically lease out the kitchen space. Our intention is takeout only. His responsibility is the rest of the building, so. We're currently in the process of getting GOH. Our fire suppression has all been checked out and everything. I'm working on insurance, so make sure all the ducks are in line. It's gonna be basically kind of like a burger joint. I think I submitted a copy of the menu. That's our current menu at our Hilton location. So basically just food service outside of his existing facility.
All right, you said only takeout?
Well, he's got seating.
Oh,
But
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna be at like a service window with, what we're intending on doing is, I don't know if you ever been to like Bill Gray's where they give you a little pager. So people can be wherever they want in the facility or take out, just on a call-in basis or just walk-in basis. And we provide that service at a counter service and, Abe's already pretty experienced in running the bar part of it, so.
I was looking at your layout. It looked like the layout in the kitchen hasn't changed at all.
Well, we're bringing in some new equipment, so, but it's pretty much the same. The hook system and everything's in the same spot, answer system. Some of the coolers and stuff like that we're gonna be using as well. We're bringing in a couple of new fryers, new grills, just stuff that it needed for updates and whatnot. We've been down there doing a little bit of cleaning for the last 2 weeks, just trying to get things under. Everything's ready to roll for now.
Jamie? Assuming that you're carrying the liquor license?
Yeah, I got the liquor license.
Huh?
I already got the liquor license, yeah.
Okay, so you be running the bar,
Here's something.
you'll be running
So
the
you
bar?
come to my place, you're gonna come to the bar.
Yep.
2-3 people, you're gonna get a drink. If you want something to eat, then I'm gonna direct you, or I'm gonna direct you over to that window.
Okay,
It's like Locust out of the winery over there. Replace all until they do it, all built great. That's a part of a lot of them now because it's so hard to get anybody to work. You go, order your food. You walk away, you order what you want, the buzzer goes out, and you come back and get your food and go. But the beauty is, you can call it in, you can stop, you can go upstairs, and play porno, sit out by the fire, and you have this pager in your pocket. So he's got his own insurance, his own health permit. I got my own insurance health permit, just a separate entity inside my place. And I just
okay, so you won't have waitresses, it'll be window service only.
We're Windows service, it's gonna be on paper or takeouts, so
Okay.
we don't even have to run a dish machine. 3-bowl sink is all that we're required for the Department of Health, is all we're washing spots and pans that we use to cook the food.
Yeah.
And equipment, so we're not gonna have any glasses, any flatware, everything will be just as a takeout basis.
And you're gonna be, you walk up to the bar, place your order, and or you have
drinks.
Yeah.
Upstairs, downstairs, the bar, the party, whatever, that's all me, but that is not, no food,
no waitresses, though.
no food on my end. But if you don't eat, you don't eat, but a lot of them are gonna order.
You know, I'm talking about the bar.
Yeah.
You won't have a waitress, so
No.
we'll have to walk up to the bar.
No, no way.
Okay,
I'll have bartenders that will, if you don't wanna go get your food, if they're not doing anything, they'll go get it for you, but that's not my intention.
I was just worried about getting my drink.
Ah,
I was worried about getting my drink.
You get
Whether I had to
your-
leave my table and go
Yeah.
up to the bar.
Yeah, and like these other places do, you'll see the people behind the bar walk out and get. You know, if you guys don't wanna get up, you're sitting over there and my bartenders are certainly gonna want to get the food for you because they're gonna want to dip it. That's not the intention, if they wanna do that, but
Okay,
it's not their job.
all right. Thank you. Gentlemen, any questions?
Just, how long have you been operating in Hilton?
This will be our third year. We opened in 2021. And the good thing is we're actually in, we work with a bowling alley up there.
Yeah.
They kind of ran into the same issue where a lot of people are having troubles finding people to run food service for them. So we kind of stepped into that niche and just said, I don't want to come to work for you. But if you're willing to work with us on a lease, we'll run that business within your facility. So this is the second time you already do that. Thing about that place is it's bowling, so it's very seasonal. So this opportunity for us was pretty perfect because we're busy up there during the winter months and it's crazy down here during the summer, from what I understand. So for us, it's a pretty good opportunity.
And just 4 days a week?
Great, yeah, I mean, that's what the plan is. I mean, if the village is all right with it, and it seems like the business is good, then we can offer more hours. I
Mhm.
don't want to overstep boundaries for how late we're open or anything like that. You know, we'll go by your guys' guidelines, you know.
Will those hours be the same for the bar?
No, I mean, we could tweak that, we may be open 7 days a week in July, I don't know, but right now it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We may go to Monday because it's a want for that Monday, but we're over the bars open till 2 o'clock, Friday, Saturday night.
When do you anticipate opening?
We're shooting for Memorial Day Friday.
It's coming up fast.
Yeah, it's a mad dash to the finish line, but I think everything's in order, so it's realistic. I mean, you never know, there could be hitches, but I've done this kind of stuff before, so.
Back to hours again, you're anticipating those same 4 days over the winter season too?
Yeah, I think our agreement right now is seasonal because I think Abe's intends on closing at the end of the summer season as well.
Okay.
So that's the agreement we have for now.
Yeah.
But there's also a clause in our lease that says, you know, if you intend more than welcome to sign on for more or for next season.
So TBD. basically.
Yeah, that's right.
So Jamie, you looking at Columbus Day for closing or what?
I usually close when things go south, you know. I don't really- My license is good until November 1st. I used to go April 1st to 7 months till then we have a Halloween party October 31st and then 1st of November we're out.
Okay.
But I'm get too many birthdays ahead of me, so I'm slowing down a little bit. You know?
You don't look a day over 30. All right. Any more questions, Joe?
No.
Ask this one just before you move on. They don't, it's parking spaces, but they're not required because they don't have the seating capacity. So it'd be just for their employees, to make sure they have enough parking for the employees.
Jamie, how many parking spaces do you have there?
Boy. I don't know.
All right, his customers are going to use,
This is not gonna be as big as I have been. I mean, this is gonna be a heck of a lot less than I ever been. In 2016, I had 65 people working, we're gonna have 10 people working now. So it isn't like we're going the other way, it's not gonna be nothing like these.
And I mean, that probably includes my staff.
Yeah, that's what I mean, with all of us, we want 10 people there, so it's not like a place.
okay,
You know, I got the extra parking lot over by Jack's, that's mine too. But
right,
We're not doing weddings, we're not doing all that stuff we used to.
all right.
Some of them for all that.
So, Gary, any questions?
No, I don't.
All right, I have a motion.
How will we approve the application as submitted?
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, congratulations.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Okay, next up is Sodas Marina.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you.
I'm Rick Hinckley with Sodas Marina.
John Maxon.
Well, nice to see you in person.
Son
Son.
John,
Oh,
as he calls him, son John. And there's the dad John.
You're talking about big.
Yeah, big
oh, Big John, I'm sorry. Having never seen his mouth.
John.
I've heard that.
Okay. Gentlemen,
We are expanding the campground. It should be at the final vote. We've got the health department permit.
okay. What I recall, we had made everything contingent upon that permit,
And it has already
and
been
that's,
approved.
and you have a copy of that permit.
Got a copy from it.
Okay.
Yep. Where did the county come up? But I believe they're all addressed. If you want to double check them.
There are no anticipated
All right.
effective changes from that.
Well, I recall that the fire hydrant was the first hurdle, and then the gate.
Both of which have been installed.
Right. Right.
The gate is installed.
Yes, it is.
Super.
As far as I see, you've met everything that we've asked for. Mr. McKee, do you have any questions?
Just one question. The health department refers to 9 full-service campground sites.
Yeah.
But the application calls for 11. What happens to 2?
That's a good question.
It appears that the 11 includes 2 pre-existing that are being renumbered.
That's at the beginning, yes.
Okay, so when we approve this, should approve an addition of 9, not an addition of 11.
Okay. So those other 2 have already passed
Yes, they
some
were
kind
already-
of review.
So if you look at the drawing that we were given, the 2 campsites that are west of the wall and on the north side,
Okay.
okay? Now numbered spaces 1 and 2.
They are existing,
17, 18, it looks like.
yes,
Yeah.
they are existing sites.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the map for that if you need it. Yeah, there's those,
Well,
but that's the existing map there.
Those are listed under pre-approval. in the health
All right.
department. Existing 24 sites.
Okay.
That's the only question I.
All right,
And all the site improvements have been done. Your don't these represent walls or dividers between the
They
spaces?
will be done, yes.
They
as
will
part
be
of the
done.
Project of doing the whole upgrading everything. Yes, the anticipation is to do them in section groups. Working our way through the park to upgrade all the existing sites as well.
So do you anticipate leasing those sites prior to the completion of that work?
The existing sites, yes. The new ones.
The old site?
Yes, the existing sites are leased, will
Yeah.
be worked on as we move them to an open site. Work on that site, return the customer to the reconditioned, rehabilitated site, renovated existing site.
Okay,
But the new sites will not be utilized until
Until
all
they're-
of this Done,
Everything's all done.
yes, the infrastructure is done. Much of the beautification is done.
So the health department has to come back and certify that everything was done.
No, they will have to certify a water extension, yes, that's correct. For that, we take a water sample to the local water in Ontario County. They do our sampling after the lines are installed and flushed, and they have to approve that.
But the other approvals take place by Kevin as you're doing. the
Yes,
work. Okay, backflow or waste or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's all village water, it's not well water, so.
Yeah. But Kevin has the oversight.
With water and wastewater, I work with Nate and Jeff, but we work.
Yeah, that's just the state only is concerned at the end that it meets their drinking water standards.
Any other question?
So this is probably coming a little late, but it would be useful to see what your operating rules are. You know, for the sites, you know, how many vehicles can people have?
Well, we have existing rules that are limiting the car to the site. Cars have to be parked on the site. They cannot be parked haphazardly around the yard because it's a working yard also.
Right.
Working boat yard. So we have that, we have hours for quiet time. We have a gate that we are presently putting in operation that a couple of people look at to fix. We have those things in place to the existing sites, they'll just be inspected.
Kevin, do you, as in the ordinary course, receive those
If they provide them,
rules?
it's helpful to have, just so if somebody comes
Yeah,
up
we'll
with a
we'll
complaint.
get you the contracts that we have.
I think, I'm just looking on the website to see if I can pull them up. But yeah, if you can get me a copy, that'd be helpful.
Yep, I'll get you a contract, I'll guarantee you the contract.
I don't have anything further.
Okay. Have a motion,
Make the motion to approve this final site plan proposal as submitted.
I'll second that.
okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're to the Halligans. Peter's on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Halligan, would you like to tell us about your revised plan that you worked on with the zoning board?
Yep. The zoning asked for a couple of changes on the plan to eliminate the cantilever overhang on the east side. And then on the north side, they didn't approve the balcony, so that was removed. And those were the two big changes that were requested. Those were just, so basically it's just slightly scaled back.
Yeah. So the footprint's gonna basically be the same with,
As originally described, yes.
Peter, I think the last time we met and spoke, there was going to be there was a question being raised about the height of the structure. And am I recalling that correctly?
Yes.
Yes, and I communicated that back to Kevin the next day on the height. It's the the height is the same height as the garage peak.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we just have that for the record.
Yep.
Great.
Mr. McKee, any questions?
No, no.
Mr. Gatling, any others?
No,
We have a,
I'll move that we approve the plans as revised to eliminate the cantilever overhang on the east and the balcony off to the north, but to maintain the originally designed footprint.
do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Unanimous vote. Okay, Mr. Halligan, thank you.
Thank you very much, folks. I appreciate it.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Next one up is Mr. Beretta. I don't see your lawyer. Would you like us to put somebody else in?
He was
Give you a
supposed to
few-
try to call in if he was able to, it doesn't appear that he can. He would have contacted me by.
Would it be all right if we skip to the moors and came back to you? Give you time to contact her? You sure? All right. Step up, please.
Yeah, my name is Guy Beretta. My wife Kate and I own a home at 85 Kennebuck Boulevard. And we're here for approval of a fence permit that was submitted on May 2nd of this month. The fence is a black aluminum fence 48 inches high, measures 50.67 feet by 16.33 feet by 41.83 feet. And it starts approximately 26 feet from the roadway. I have a number of comments and facts that I'd like to share with you tonight. You'll remember that the original application went before the board on July 7th of 2022. So it is now 10 months since the original application went before. So some of these facts you may have heard already, but I think it's appropriate that I read.
Do you want me to unmute your attorney too? Your attorney just got on. Do you want me?
Oh,
to-
yeah, yes.
Do you want him to unmute? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I just didn't want. Like, well, I'm hitting the unmute button for you. There you go.
Hello. Hello.
How am I doing?
Hi.
So I'm gonna start with a bunch of facts. The fence was installed on my property line, which is verified by a survey done by Green Landscaping Surveyor on October 12th, 2022. On December 8th, after the fence was installed, the code enforcement officer visited the site and verified with the surveyor that the fence was indeed installed on the property line. The land to the south of the fence is the Beretta's personal property, which no one has a right to enter. The land to the north of the fence is property owned by the federal government, on which we could not install a fence. The fence meets the requirements of the code as was noted at the October 17th, 2022 meeting. In 1899, the easement was created in favor of the United States of America and is still in effect. The village of Sodas Point has no legal interest or authority over the easement. The Army Corps of Engineers is the federal agency that oversees and monitors the use of the easement. The only way the village could acquire authority over the easement would be by acquisition under eminent domain law. This process would likely take many years, very costly to the village. And it is my opinion that this issue is beyond the scope, authority, and knowledge of the planning board. It should not be a topic for tonight's decision. On May 12th, 2022, the Army Corps of Engineers issued their consent to easement, allowing us to install a fence across the federal easement. The Army Corps issued the consent for three basic reasons. Number one,
The Army Corps said they had no current or anticipated future need for the easement. Number two, the easement was no longer usable or viable because it extends into the water and over rocks due to 100 years of erosion and 2 recent floodings. And third, the Army Corps said that this would minimize their liability if anyone were to be injured while crossing over their easement. To this point, I'd like to clarify a statement that was made at the last meeting. The statement was that the easement does not go into the water at the east end. However, I prepared a map for everybody at this table to take a look at. The map that you have in front of you was prepared by the village as part of the READY program proposal. It's on page 97 and it's dated March 11th of 2020. It clearly shows that the easement headed into the water of Sailor's Bay. Further, the erosion at the east end is now covered by rocks recently installed by the village for shoreline protection. The Army Corps of Engineers stated to me that the easement was not moved from its original location due to erosion or flooding. In other words, it doesn't shift as a shoreline shift. So that's an argument I think that we really don't need to have. The board's decision tonight should only be based on compliance with village code. Public opinion, opposition, and emotion should not have any influence on the board's decision tonight. And finally, any claim by the public at large to their rights under prospective easement law is not applicable to tonight's decision because the existence of a prospective easement has not been established, has not been adjudicated in a New York State court, and is not recorded on the deeds of the owners, the property owners. This matter is between the party seeking the prospective easement, which is the public, and the United States government. The homeowners, the brothers, are not part of this issue. Seeking of prospective easement would, in effect, be asking for an easement on top of the federal government easement, an event that is very unlikely to happen. If the prospective easement is pursued, such a determination and possible challenge would likely take several years to play out. Again, it is my opinion that this issue is not part of your discussion or your decision-making process tonight. So to kind of summarize all that, fence is on my property line. To the north is land owned by the federal government. To the south is my private property. The 1899 easement, which still exists, but the village has no interest or authority over it. The Army Corps of Engineers issued a consent to easement allowing us to install a fence across the easement. The easement is no longer passable because it leads over rocks and into the water. The location of the easement does not change once it was established. Public opinion or opposition should not be a factor in tonight's decision. And a prospective easement does not exist over the government easement or any portion of my property. Basically, my facts I'd like to share with you tonight.
Thank you.
I hope I didn't throw too much at you on one time.
No. No, I don't think so. The guy,
Yes,
assuming that the easement runs into the rocks, that doesn't occur until after your property, correct?
it starts right on my property. Well, let me see. Directly on the north side of the fence that's in place, there are rocks. As you walk along the line of the easement, directly at the end of it on the east side are where the rocks begin.
Well,
And even if they didn't, a few feet past there is where the rocks are that were installed by the village. Again, making the easement no longer passable.
just looking at the map that you provided with the red lines and black lines and all of that. And your drawing shows that the right of way does not go into the rocks there.
Well, this actually was done before the village installed the rocks. This was done during the Ready program proposal. The rocks were not put in until after that. So they would not show on this map because it was produced well before the village installed their rocks.
To be quite honest, we've got a minimum quorum tonight.
Well, how did you vote on the other application?
Well, this question is much more important than those.
And it has been for the last 10 months.
I understand that. There's the question, we have your attorney who says that there is no public right of way.
Well, I didn't say that. I said the public right of way exists, it's no longer viable.
Well,
That's a very big difference there.
no. Well, the map I'm looking at here shows the fence. I'm sure you didn't put the fence out into the water. I've been there, I've seen
Which fence you?
Okay, that's the one.
That's not the most recent map that I submitted with the application.
Yeah, that's the one you gave me.
No, it doesn't.
This is your folder for the application. That's the map you gave me. Right.
Right, the red is the property line. You can't see it, but there's a green line that goes right to the
Right there.
right there, right. But there is a space of about 30 feet from the fence to the rocks. And that's,
But this here is on your map, the right of way.
right, as it is on that map.
Right. So it does not go to the rocks until after.
No. Those rocks that I'm talking about were rocks installed by the village after the Ready program was completed. The grant that they received was after the proposal.
Just confirm, these are the maps though that you wanted us to, because these are the ones you submitted, me, the ones.
Yes, they are. Right.
Okay.
Right. Again, the issue of the rocks is pretty clear. There were no rocks when this map was prepared by the village. There are rocks there now because the village installed them. Actually, I think it was last summer.
Well, this map was dated 10/6/22. Pardon me.
But this map is also prepared after this. That map was prepared before this one was.
So this is 10/6/22.
That's a survey. That's my survey map.
Right. Right. Sir.
So I guess I don't understand your question.
Well, if that's the correct survey,
It is.
it doesn't show go into the rocks.
That's a survey map. It's not a topographical map. Topographical map would show that there are rocks and water on the other side of the right of way.
All right. Thank you.
And I object to the fact that you voted on 3 other applications up for now and don't want to vote on mine because of a quorum restriction.
Well, I can handle that by recusing myself.
Isn't that the coward's way out?
I'm sorry, you're
Pardon
being
me.
very disrespectful.
Well,
You're
pardon-
being very
Stand
disrespectful.
up. Thank you. Right. Guy,
yes.
I explained this is a very important vote. I would be much happier if we had a full board. Everybody could put their consensus, their opinions in and vote. I would like to table this until the next.
So we're gonna go into month 11 now, and if they're right first, month 11 of,
We will be seeing you in 3 weeks. It'll be June 5th.
this is an abomination. This is absolutely horrible the way we're treating citizens of this community.
That's the thing is, we're trying to make sure that everybody gets treated the same. We
Well,
still have the questions that need answered. I'm not comfortable voting on this tonight.
are the other members? Do they have a say in this decision?
John?
I'd like more time to look.
What can I provide for you in addition to what I presented already? That's the missing piece apparently.
Just a second. I'll run on Kathy.
I'm sorry, Kathy, I didn't see you as the corner man, that was my fault. That wasn't intentional. She's the applicant, she's not on the, oh, before, wait, she's not on the board right now.
Kathy Barata.
Yeah,
Oh, I understand. She's just an applicant. Kathy, go ahead.
We've never done this before, Bruce. We have never postponed because there wasn't a full board.
There's gotta be a.
I can honestly say I'm very disappointed, and I'm not being disrespectful, but as a planning board member, I'm very disappointed how this is
In this matter, you're not a planning board member.
my own personal thing. I would be very disappointed. If this was Bruce Carey's thing, I would have been very disappointed. We have never, ever done this. I've been on the board for 8 years. We have never done this.
Well,
And we have our rights.
you
And
have
this-
right,
to people. No,
Yeah.
I'm done, Bruce. Come on, we have our rights here. We're not being treated equal. And I like that put in the minutes that we are not being treated equal. And we are being treated equal.
All right.
I
Thank
have
you.
another very important point I'd like to bring up because this is the new applications. This board very often grants fence permits based on hardships. And Kathy and I both think that the situation has created a hardship for us and could be remedied by the feds. Let me give you an example. The number of people passing through our property each day, particularly in the summer, has increased from a few dozen people to possibly 100 people over the course of the weekend. In the past, we have been verbally abused by people that seem to think that they can walk through our private property. I have been physically assaulted by a person that claimed that I was abusing his rights to the easement. We have had personal property stolen by people walking across the easement onto our property. We have had people sit in our lawn chairs directly outside of our window, our bedroom window, well past midnight, drinking beer, smoking pot, maybe doing both and carrying on a conversation directly outside of our window. People walk through with trash, dog feces, empty cans, and many more things on the yard. People have pointed their flashlights directly into our windows at nighttime as they walk through the property on the right of way. We once had a person ride a motorcycle through our yard at nighttime. People regularly use our dock to take pictures, which creates a huge liability for us. The signage that was prepared by the village to hopefully control the situation says, walking across private property. Please be considerate, stay on the path, no motorized vehicles of any type, closed from dusk to dawn. Not one of these stipulations has ever been adhered to by the public. And therefore, we do feel a certain level of insecurity and threats. And I'd like to make that part of our application process. These are legitimate, honest situations we've dealt with.
Thank you.
You have a shotgun? Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is the next step, please?
Okay, I have moved that we table this to the 5th. We only have a full board. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Wow.
Those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
2-1.
Wow.
I basically be making my same presentation when the full board is here.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So back the first of June, first meeting.
Yes, yeah.
Is that-
Thank you. Okay, the Moors.
Take my back to the field. I'm here on behalf of my husband, Dwayne, and myself, Eddie Moore. We live at 7496 South Pitcher Street, next to the old church. All we want to do is put a new vinyl fencing at the rear left-hand side of the back of our house. It's just to improve our property and for privacy. The fence is 6 by 6. There's 4 panels. It's beautiful. It's got lattice work on top. A 4-foot fence is not going to do us any justice. I believe Kevin has shown you the pictures, or maybe not.
Yeah, they have. all
Okay.
photos. Yep.
Yeah, it's for privacy, for improving our home. But also blocking the neighbor. I hate to say it, but it's disgusting. It's just to get things cleaned up. We already have a 6-foot fence on the other side, which is much longer. It's just to,
It's for full votes.
for pool privacy.
Yeah, yes.
Any questions?
No, next.
I visited with the Moores this afternoon and saw the area that they want to locate this fence. The adjacent property is, the houses are pretty close together.
Right.
Properties are pretty close together. And in terms of the 24 feet, it's probably the minimum you could install in that area to provide some block between the two properties and the adjacent deck next door and their patio. And I think the 6 feet is probably warranted because of the topography of the property and the height of the deck next door. It seemed to me to be a reasonable request.
I stopped by, you may see, you got a ring doorbell, nobody answered, so I talked.
Well,
Talked
with
to
the
it.
garage door shut, we were probably at work.
That's okay. I have to work too.
Okay.
So if you look at the ring, you'll see my face. I'm telling you, I'm there to look at the
You didn't
face.
say anything to baggage it.
No, I just identified myself and I was walking into your property.
Okay.
Okay, I agree that that would be covering quite a tangled mess there. Okay. Right. Any questions for the boards?
Not by me.
And
Just as a point of information, I think when you were describing the location of the fence, you said left side, depending on what direction I'm facing.
If you're
Left to
standing
be-
behind the house, looking at the rear of the house.
So sort of the south property line.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it basically starts at that rear corner of the house and extends for the 24 feet.
Mhm. Question? No? Anyone? Do we have a motion?
Do we need to open this up?
No, zoning will open it up to public comment. I was just gonna say your motion would be to recommend it to zoning board, right? Or not recommend it to zoning board.
I move that we recommend the application to the zoning board for its review.
Okay, second.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Zoning meets next week.
Yep, moved for tonight.
So you have to stop by again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Leon, Phil?
Good evening, Billy on 7573. I met with each of you today, so I don't think we have too much to talk about. I had a variance for this back in 2019 and it's expired. And just looking to redo the variance. Short the fence up 5 foot on each side.
All right, you said you were shortening the one side by 5 feet.
Yes.
That's
6
the one on the north side.
So it's gonna change. Don't we change this because this is what zoning's gonna get? I don't know. I just change that. So. Let's see. Yeah, 15, sorry. See that?
Kevin, do you have the approval that existed, that pre-existed?
Yeah, do you want the minutes for it or?
Well, just what the approval was, please.
That's the exact same map.
Yeah, it was, we submitted the same application this
Oh,
time.
it's the same
It's the same application, but he just took 5 feet off going in the
Okay,
positive, not
okay.
negative.
Well, on the bright side, you're not the first person to run into this situation.
I apologize. I would. If I knew it was really an issue or something that was enforced, I would have never started it. So I do apologize
Well,
for putting it up. I mean, paper permits.
we understand,
permits.
I'm happy that, I don't know if you had security cameras or what, but you arrived just in the nick of time.
I just had this coincidence.
Otherwise, I would not have understood why it was such a heavy built fence.
Yeah.
So it's-
Thank you.
Well,
I could just bring up on the screen too. Should have done that.
I had both of them printed for planning and zoning. Planning lots.
I don't know if you want a copy of the minutes. He has them too. I have them in the binder next door, but I don't know if you want them for the record.
Maybe attach them to our minutes.
Okay.
It's a digital.
Okay.
What is he?
Yeah, I'll take.
Yeah,
That way I have
because that'd be more than what we got.
And the construction of the fence is going to be different than was originally proposed. Yeah.
It's also in the neighborhood. It's so close to their area. Just, they gave us some options of what I was looking at. What was that? Or advantageous, you know, they like their greenery, their plants, so if they want to hang baskets off it or sunscreens or whatever, what that's, you know, snow.
We've got no quarrel with that.
Good. So more useful, that's, I guess.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
We thought it was fine.
Does this have to go back to zone?
Yeah, his variance expired.
Okay.
We'll get this situation with magazine spins. Okay. I'm sorry. It's allergies. My pills, I'm good as long as my pills are working, they're wearing off.
That's what they all say for us.
Okay, right, any more questions for Mr. Cleveland? Okay. We have a motion.
I make a motion that we refer Phil Leon's plans for a fence to the zoning board
Recommended or?
with our recommendation.
We just amended slightly to say the 60 foot as he changed it. Because it changed from 65 to 60
Okay,
on this side here.
right.
On the north side.
Yeah, he just changed the 1 by 5 feet. Sorry.
So we're going to refer this with our approval to the zoning board with the amendment to the proposal that it's 60 versus 65 feet on the north side of the property.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all right. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, Bill.
Thank
Back
you,
to
Laura.
work.
Sorry to waste your time and sorry about that.
Well, not a waste of time.
Wait. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks for sharing that picture of Maria's place. It looks good.
Close. I said we're close, it's coming.
You said they're coming tomorrow?
I think they're gonna be working on it tomorrow, so. Go for the finish line, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. Our next meeting will be June 5th. Do I have a motion to,
I move that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
I'll take that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.